Sometimes when you're old, you have to face the facts. Your time has passed by. This is a poem from the book Mammoth. This was when I was in my 20s. Society's rule. The gates are open only so wide. Yesterday's rain has passed by. It seems I love you, but it can't be at the moment. The drums in the distance pound consistently over the bounds, sliding silently through the wanting ditch of hope. Wide open, fluttering over, knowing it must stop and be satisfied. Filled with desire, but can't see the end. Fighting to uphold the balance, soaring, fleeing, but never quite obtaining. Never quite attaining. Page 21 of the book Mammoth. Next, I'm going to read chapter 30 from my third book, The Riffle Pass. It's R-rated, so don't be concerned. This is a scene that they're on a small cruise ship that only holds 102 people. So you get a chance to pretty much meet everybody on the cruise. And it's about Sam and Wanda, basically. They haven't seen each other for 3 months. So it's getting to the point where a decision has to be made. The boat was 2 hours out to sea, cruising at 30 knots. Around 60 people were on the top deck. It looked like a football convention. Half the people had on the attire, while the 6 sported the boxers just above the board shorts. 10 women were wearing the one-piece sports apparel. Everyone had on a different team than their spouse. Wanda was set up on her lawn chair wearing Buffalo Bills. Chris had the Titans, while Marlene had the Dallas Cowboys. Blue stars covered the white suit. Frank was going to have a hell of a time keeping the eyeballs off Marlene. Sam was happy she took up the end of the row because the suit was not quite opaque. It wasn't a good suit for a brunette. It wasn't a good suit for a brunette-haired woman. Sam spent the first hour at the bar with Tony. They had the shirts off to get some sun. A few women checked them out. About 50 minutes in, the blonde woman showed up. Sam did not dare look towards Wanda. It would screw up his plan. Her name was Kristen, and she wore a bikini that covered her body perfectly. It was yellow on the top and white on the bottom. Great googly moogly. Kristen walked up and introduced herself. She put her left hand on his back and left it there. They talked a bit. Sammy, I spent about a week in Portland before the cruise. Sam asked, family? No, I was looking at businesses to invest in. Sam looked down at its hand. There it was. Kristen either knew Bruno or he had reeled her in, or maybe she was fishing for something else. Kristen, you want to talk business? She moved a touch closer. Kristen had her arm around him. Later, Sam had his hand on his shoulder. He put at least 1 foot between them. Sam looked at her face while he explained real life. Kristen looked down. Sam followed her gaze past her perfect jugs and shit, the golden cashmere of spring. Kristen had the front of her suit bottoms pulled away from her perfect skin. That sight alone could launch a 6-month affair. Sam had seen that move before. Kristen, that's lovely. Just looking at her accessories made him nervous. She reminded him of Marlene. After about 15 minutes, they agreed on business. Sam exited and sat on his chair. Wanda was upset. Sam, I hate you. She was all over you. She asked to sleep with you? Yes, she did. Kristen walked by their group and said, hi, Sammy. It couldn't have been any better. She walked down the whole row and sat at a tall table with a couple men. Wanda's voice got a little louder. You actually like that? Sam rubbed it in. I love that. That's in a league of its own. I resisted. Sam passed the test. He just wasn't passing Wanda's yet. Wanda looked toward Tim. Tim, you like that? Wanda, everybody likes that. Marlene sat up while every man took notice. Marlene hit Frank in the shoulder. It was hard. Frank, you like that? Frank looked straight ahead. I better like that. She looks like you. Wanda sat up. Shit, she looked good. Sam looked straight ahead with the shades on. Wanda wasn't done. So what did you say, smartass? I told her we couldn't do business if we slept together. We were thinking about business. Maybe if you sold her some business first, I won't sleep with her. We have a bet? After 5 minutes, Wanda marched her ass next to Kristen to prove she was superior. Wanda kicked the two men off her table and sat down. Kristen jutted her chest out slightly and said, Hey, Wanda. Wanda didn't say anything at first. She realized this woman was good. Are those real? Kristen said, More than real. Wanda took a second to regroup. So you're doing business with Sam? Yeah, I think so. I have too much money to invest. If I was poor, it would have been a slam dunk. You think so? Kristen sat there and waited. Kristen, I like you. You are going to invest through me because you are not sleeping with my man. Wanda, of course not, because he already sold me. I guess he tricked you so he could sleep with me. Wanda wasn't falling for it. Bullshit, he did. Wanda laid out a strong deal for a big amount of money. They shook hands. Before Wanda got up to yell at Sam, Kristen looked her in the face. Girl, that man loves you. Kristen put a ring box on the table. He said he would ask you at dinner. Your Uncle Bruno will pick you up at 7 and escort you to dinner. Your dinner dress is in your trunk. Wanda started crying and opened the box. It was a mid-size abstract ring. She loved it. She looked toward Sam. He was gone. Kristen, you damn bitch. Thank you. One scene from the Riffle Pass, the middle of chapter 30. If you look below in the description block, you can pick any of my books. There's a link to each book to make it easy. You know what to do.